Here's how I use GIMP to colorize a black and white image. The easiest way of doing it is to use a color, adding a layer mask, and then editing that layer mask to give you the color. That way everything is completely non-destructive. So first thing, we'll go for the skin first on the face. First thing is pick a color. There's no set colour for skin, so I usually pick something round about a kind of sand colour, roughly, round about there. That's what I would pick for this one, just to start off. So, okay, this is your foreground colour here. The white is the background colour, so foreground colour is going to be your skin colour. Come over here or up to the menu for a new layer, and we need to pick foreground colour. Okay, and now you right click on the layer up here and you add a layer mask. White is full opacity, black is full transparency. We want black for full transparency. That way when we add it, we don't see any colour. The black is the layer mask and that hides the colour. So what we'll do is use white to show the colour. So if I paint onto that layer mask with white, you see the colour. If I paint with black, it'll hide the colour. So all we gotta do is just paint, and I'll just do this quickly, I'm not gonna do it really detailed, it's just to show you the procedure. The idea of using the layer mask is if you make a mistake, it's dead easy to fix it. So very quickly, do the face, and as I say, with the layer mask we can easily fix any mistakes I've made. But pick the colour of your layer here. The mode is normally normal, we're going to make it multiply, and that gives us a basic skin colour. I'll go back to black and just kind of fix a few bits and bobs. One thing you need to make sure of, which I just did there, is you need to make sure to select the layer or the layer mask. So you need to select the layer mask and then draw the black on it or the white. Otherwise you're drawing onto the actual colour layer. So that'll do it for just now, and I'll just zoom in a bit and bring back the eyes. There we go. In fact, back to white, missed a bit in the ear. Oops. And zoom back out. Obviously, that's not perfect, not by a long shot, but what we can do is we can adjust the opacity of that layer as well to make it more or less. So if we take the opacity to there, that's not bad. Next thing I usually do is make another layer, this time make it just transparent, and this will be things like the red in the cheeks and that kind of thing. So it doesn't have to be bright red, but a kind of red heading towards pink. Okay, and I'll usually use the airbrush and just pick in areas that where the most blood would usually be, which would be the cheeks, a little part of the ear and a part of the nose. Yes, it looks completely ridiculous just now, but we're going to alter that. back again up to mode, make it multiply, and then bring the opacity way down on it so that you can just see it and no more. Next one, again another layer, transparency, and this time a kind of orangey brown colour. Same again for the airbrush, and this time kind of darker areas. In fact, I'll go darker brown than that. Areas where there would be kind of most shadows. Again, doesn't have to be specific, just thereabout. Bit there, bit here. And again, mode, multiply, and then bring the opacity down. The idea really of these is just to give the skin some variation, so the whole thing isn't just pink and bland. The red, I think I'll take the red down a wee bit more. Yeah. And on that brown, I'll need to bring the eyes back. For the eyes, rather than using another layer and opacity and masks and so on, again, I just put another layer, transparency, and I'll make it kind of blue eyes. Really just paintbrush and put a bit of blue, but keep the highlight on the eye. And again, mode, multiply, and take it down a bit. So that if we zoom out, that's what we've got. And one more layer. Again, transparency. This is a kind of pink kind of colour, and this will be for the lips. And again, just paint it in. Again, as ever, multiply and then take the opacity down. So that's what we've got so far. And next one, probably the hair. For this one I'll use another layer mask idea. Make it kind of orange hair. New layer, foreground colour. Okay, and add layer mask, full transparency, and go for white and paint in the hair area. The idea also for this is that you've got to do this for every single thing. So for the top or the clothing, for the background, everything, you've got to do new layers and masks for everything. Multiply that, bring it down, switch it to black to take out that mistake that I made. And obviously you can change any of these colours because the whole thing is non-destructive, as I say. You can click the orange layer there and go up to colours, colorize, and you can change that layer to anything you like. It's sometimes easier just to pick a colour, put it in, and then later on come in and pick the proper colour this way. So you can experiment. It takes a lot of tweaking and messing around to actually get the right colours. I'll go for that. Change the skin colour slightly. Go for a bit here. Bit of saturation. Yeah, that looks a bit better, a bit lighter. Yeah, go for that. If you were to look at it without the brown and the red, you just get a completely pale face that looks really bad. But just the addition of the brown and red makes it look a wee bit better. Quickly, I'll add another layer. In fact, pick a colour first. We'll do a part of the kind of t-shirt there. Foreground colour. Add a layer mask. Full transparency. And white. I'm not going to do the whole thing, I'll just do a bit at the top just to make it look a bit better. Again, multiply. Fix the bits that I've missed. And thing on here. Okay, so the other thing is that a black and white image isn't always the kind of best starting point, but I've used that just to prove a point that you can do it with a black and white image. But I'm going to pick the original image, make a copy of it using this button here, and on the copy I'll go colorize, and I'll colorize the whole image, but to really make it sepia more than anything else, because sepia images have got a kind of nice warm glow to them, and it's not as cold as the black and white stuff. So if we make it a nice sepia image like that, it looks much better. So that's the sepia image, and I'll flick it back to the black and white one and back to the sepia one. So hopefully you can see the sepia one makes it lighter and nicer, or warmer rather than anything else. So if you've got a black and white image, you're usually better to make it sepia and then go from there. But that's how you do it. Obviously it's not perfect. It does take a lot of tweaking and changing. You could easily then go to colours and levels and brighten the highlights and darken the blacks in the image to kind of give it better values, so that it kind of balances out the image a bit better for lights and darks. So that's it that I've just edited. That's the original and that's the edit. So that's what we've got. So that was the original, and that's the sepia version with the tweaked colour levels. So there you go, that's how to colorize an image in GIMP.